Hey, what's up, fellas? I'm Malicious Female Fan Steve Malicious here, back with the Galaxy Z Fold 2 5G, my fuller review after a week of usage, and it's going to be a little bit different today. This device isn't really about the specs. The performance is excellent. It's an 865 plus, 12 gigs of RAM. If you focus on that, I think you're missing the point. The goal of this device and what I want to do in this review is go over the user experience. Talk about what it's going to be like to actually own something like this, because it is different. So we have a couple of different things that we want to accomplish today. Number one, I want to answer as many of your questions as possible. There were so many on the 48-hour review, and I appreciate that. And don't worry, if I don't get to yours, I'm extremely active in the comment section. Go ahead and leave your question below, and I will make sure to get to it. The second thing is this, and this is the most important part. If you've spent the last 10 plus years using something that looks like this, is this device polished enough to get you to consider something that looks like this? The Galaxy Z Fold 2 5G. We're going to keep saying the entire name until they realize how ridiculous that sounds. Today on this edition of Steve Malicious Tech. And we're back. As always, thank you so much to all the new subscribers, up over 1,350 as of the taping of this video. If you're loving the phones, whether they be new or old, whatever the technology happens to be, go ahead and give that subscribe button a tussle. It certainly means a lot to me. So the first thing that I had a lot of questions about was the battery life, and I am still getting that 5.5 hours. That's on optimized performance mode. That is at the 120 hertz though, at near full brightness, so you can vary your mileage as you will, how you use it. You are going to get to that 15% at the end of the day. You might see that red, that first bead of sweat coming down your forehead, but you will get through there. And if you can top it off once during the day, it'll be just fine depending on your use case. And don't let people tell you that, well, you're going to use the outer screen more. Yeah, you're going to use it a little bit more than you did the other one, but you're still going to be using that main screen on the inside. So you want to be careful and make sure that you're keeping that battery topped off and you make it to the end of the day. And Samsung, I understand it's not a bad battery. It lasts the entire day, but I'm going to need the Samsung team to come on in here, okay? Come on in here and take a knee, all right? It's Uncle Steve pep talk time, and I'll tell you, the battery stuff has got to stop. You went from the 45-watt fast charging to 25-watt fast charging. It's time to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and get yourself back in there in terms of battery innovation. You're not some 2-bit company running out of some guy's basement in Shenzhen, okay? You're Samsung. Billions of dollars at your disposal. A lot of smart men and women in there in those engineering teams that can make it work. We're seeing a lot of smaller developers come up with bigger batteries, faster charging, and that should be unacceptable, especially at the rates and prices that they're charging. I understand that the Note 7 was a giant embarrassment and an expensive disaster for you, but you don't wear the black armband forever. It's time to start pushing the envelope of battery technology once again and having the confidence that you'll be able to do it right, because I think the consumers want it, and it's time. So Samsung, all right, that's it. Let's break. Samsung, go ahead, get back in there, and let's see some bigger batteries and some more innovative features as far as battery is concerned, because you make some wonderful devices. We want to use them at full power max settings all day long, and I don't think I'm completely out of line there. So let's talk about that camera system, because people wanted me to compare it to the cameras on the Note 10 Plus, and I can confidently say that it is better than my cameras on the Note 10 Plus. You can see that detail, the rich colors, nothing's really blown out. It takes a very nice image. And we need to talk for a second and take a step back, because people were getting on it, and it's a lot of reviewer talk about how, well, it's a step down from the Note 20 Ultra. Well, if it's a step down, it's a very small step down. And I don't think you should be making a phone purchase decision based on the fact that this camera might be, 5% less impressive than the Note 20 Ultra camera. What are we actually doing with these cameras? We need to be honest with ourselves. Are you shooting feature films? Are you doing magazine covers? Well, then you should be using a DSLR. And you shouldn't be messing with it with a camera phone. We take pictures for Instagram, Facebook, for our family, and to enjoy memories. You want a camera that when you pull it out, you understand it's not going to take a potato image And this one certainly doesn't. So don't be shying away from the Fold 2 just because, well, it might not be as good as the Note 20 Ultra camera. Look at the detail on those charcoals. The color, the brightness, the way it handled it, it's just a fantastic image. You are not going to be disappointed at all. And we have some more of them here for you coming up in a second. I want to show you this one as well. This is kind of the standard image. You can see, and this is a tougher image than you think. There's a lot of stuff in the shadow in the foreground. There's direct, bright sunlight on the stuff in the back. Nothing's blown out. You can see detail all the way through the image, which is kind of what you want, because when you're looking at it, you just don't want half of the image to be whited out and not be able to see anything. So if something important is happening, it's a family event, there's sun on part of the image, you want to make sure that it captures everything. And I go ahead, and this is another photo that I actually zoomed in on and then took a screenshot, because I want you to see the sun right over there to the right coming straight through with the lens, but still the backside of those leaves on the left, I mean, this is blown up, but you can still see the detail and the color on them, and it's not crazy. And one of my favorite comments from the last video that we talked about, someone said, their measure of a good camera is whether it takes a good cat picture or not. And you better believe that the Fold 2 takes a good cat picture. Say hello to Jean, the sassiest of tortoiseshells. And of course, it recognizes it nicely there. It actually, the AI says, well, you're taking a photo of a cat, not just of an animal, of a cat. The other thing that I want to mention on the camera system, and you can see it here in this night mode shot, is the fact that it gives you a little timer in the lower left-hand corner in the viewfinder when you're going to take a night image, saying just how long you're going to have to hold the camera steady for. And I really like that, because if you're looking at it, it's like, I got to hold this thing steady for 10 seconds, forget it. But a lot of them are 2-3 seconds, so you can kind of prepare yourself for how long you're going to have to hold the camera steady to get a good night shot. Okay, just like we have to be honest with ourselves about the camera, let's be honest with ourselves about multitasking and how often you're actually going to do it. Because some devices, and the reason why I like the Fold 2 over the Microsoft Surface Duo, is you don't have a choice with the Surface Duo. It doesn't do single slab phone stuff well. You're kind of forced to always be multitasking. And while that seems nice, well, I'm going to do so much. I'm going to do multiple. I'm going to have Instagram and Twitter open. I'm going to be answering emails and looking at my calendar at the same time. It's cool, sure. But how often are you honestly going to be able to do that? Or going to want to do it, for that matter? Multitasking runs fine on the Fold 2. You can do it. You have the screen real estate to do it. But when you want to be in single phone mode, single screen, single app mode, it does that well as well. So let me tell you what I'm talking about. Because I had this thing, like I said, over a week. I've multitasked maybe once. And it was in this app right here. Let's see if I can have the... Say hello to Grumpy Cat, by the way. Let's see if I can have the NFL app open without being sued. Basically what happened was, I had the game up here. Okay, I had the video for the game on the top. And I had my friends, I had my WhatsApp chat on the bottom. We're talking about the game as it's going on. I think that's what you're going to want multitasking-wise for this. But the cool thing about the Fold 2, and why I like that bigger display, is because you get more of the app. You get more of that stuff on the periphery that you wouldn't get normally. If you're watching something on your slab phone, okay, you turn it in landscape, that's it. The video is what you got. When you do that on the Fold 2, first off, I don't even watch stuff in landscape. I watch stuff in portrait, because I can have the game up here at a nice size, perfectly good viewing size, but I can also have the other scores. I can have player stats. I can have stuff going on the bottom. When you pull up a YouTube video, same thing. You can have the video up top, and it's still a nice big portion of the screen. It's perfectly nice to view on. And you can have the comments going down below. It's all about getting more out of the same app as opposed to just doing stuff in two apps. And I think that's what people have to get adjusted to. This is not something that you're going to want to be doing 2 and 3 apps on. I don't think so. It's nice that it has that functionality, but for me, it's about doing more and experiencing more and having just an overall nicer experience in the single mode apps that you're already using. The other thing I want to talk about, don't get this phone if you're thinking you're going to be getting some giant view screen experience. You're not. It's actually not that big. The way I look at video, I'll show you right now. So this is my Note 10 Plus. Okay. Let's see if we can do this right here. Look at that. Okay. It dwarfs it as far as that's concerned. Okay. So you're technically, if you're viewing it that way, going to get more screen on the Note 10 Plus. And the same, if you do it this way, it kind of evens out. See if we could do that without, yeah. See, it kind of evens out, but it's still bigger on the Note 10 Plus. So don't think you're just going to be getting this giant viewing experience because it's folding out into a bigger display. It's just not true. And that's okay. That's not the point of it. The point of it is to get a better experience with what you're viewing. When I want, even with the bigger screen on the Note 10 Plus, I'll choose to watch stuff on the Fold 2 10 out of 10 times because of what we talked about. You're getting more information. You're getting more of the app. And this is why I love the Passport. People, some people have never used a BlackBerry Passport before with that 1-to-1 basically square aspect ratio. It's nice to be able to see the entire line of text of something, the entire article without having to swing back and forth on a screen or pinch and zoom, just to be able to read an entire column of text. Have your Twitter open where it doesn't wrap around the screen. It's just nice to be able to do that. And this is what a folding device like the Fold 2 offers you. Let's talk about the outer display, because that's something that people are all like, well, the outer display. Don't get this phone thinking that just because the outer display is nicer this year and you could use it, that it kind of saves you. Well, if I don't want to be using the internal screen all the time or open it up, I'm okay because that outer display is nice and it's bigger now. Yeah, sort of. Let me tell you what it's good for. Phone calls, taking phone calls, scrolling through your Twitter feed, stuff that you're scrolling is fine. But if typing's still going to be a challenge, it's still cramped. And that's okay. I know a lot of people are saying, well, just swipe text. I'm a boomer. We don't swipe text. Okay? I've been texting like this for 13 years now. I'm not stopping. I'm not doing the swipes. All right? So if you're someone like me, you got bigger hands. I know someone in the comment section, well, I got smaller hands, so it's no big deal. That's fine. If you got bigger hands like me, understand you're going to make a couple errors and it's going to take a little getting used to, but it's still okay. And while I think personally the breakdown of the screens that you use is going to be 10 to 15% max of the outer screen and mostly the inner screen, that's okay. Because folding it open and using it, not that big of a deal. You're going to love it. You're going to love that experience. And it doesn't it's not like a gimmick where it gets old, like, oh, geez, I've had a week or two of this, and every time I got an answer, I said, no. It's not that big of a deal. You'll get used to it, and you'll like the experience on the internal display so much more that you'll want to use it at that 85, perhaps 90 to 10 split. Absolutely. No problem whatsoever. So, one of the other big questions, app continuity works fine. Mostly from the outer screen to the inner screen. So let's go ahead, pull up Twitter. Okay. Got that. Los Angeles Chargers. Open up. And there you are, right on the Chargers. So I haven't had a whole lot of problems with that. The apps have been pretty seamless. Going the other way is tough, but I would say that most of the time you're going to be going from the outer display, see something, open it up, and go to the inner display. But I haven't had any issues. I know people are saying with their Fold 1 they had some issues with the app continuity not working quite right. Mine worked damn near 100% of the time on the Fold 2. Other things. People said, well, it's not IP68, dust and water resistant. What about dust? Dust is going to be okay. Yeah, there is a little bit of a gap, and you're going to get, if you got some tissues in your pocket, stuff like that, you might get a little bit of dust in there. But I've taken to blowing through this gap like it's a Nintendo cartridge for whatever reason to clean off the screen. I don't know. It's just become a habit now. I don't even know where that came from or if it even helps. And as far as water's concerned, you could get a couple splashes on here, especially on this screen. It's going to be okay. It's not going to break the device. But at the same time, the only thing that does is when this display gets a little wet, the plastic becomes even more squeaky to use. So, and that brings us to cleaning. That was another big question that people had. You can't, with alcohol on the plastic display, I've just been taking microfiber cleaning cloth. Nice and easy, okay? Don't press all the way on that screen. Be gentle, and you can get some of those smudges off the screen. No problem. This is kind of a minor gripe, but a lot of people mentioned that some of the if you ordered your black one, you're not getting it until October. Would another color have killed them? Little frosted white, frosted silver, something? Frosted pink and the black. So listen. It wouldn't be a Steve Delicious video without a get off my lawn gripe, and that's one of those that we have. Wireless DeX. People asked about. It worked fine. It worked fine. I'm not a huge wireless DeX fan. I mean, I understand the appeal of it if you really like the fact that you put your phone on your desktop and you could use it with a wireless keyboard and mouse. If that's your thing, it works wonderfully on it. You're not going to have any issues with it. And it's just not something that I'm huge into, so I didn't really get into it, but it works fine. The other thing that I want you to understand when you get yours is that a lot of reviewers said it's silent when you're opening and closing it. And I get that, thinking that, or at least having it seem that way, because the Fold 1 sounded like you were breaking a graphics card in half with your bare hands when you were opening it and closing it. And this one is quieter. I see if I can put it up to the mic here. But there is a little bit of a noise when you first open it. It's kind of like a peeling or a small little crunching, or you're almost like you're peeling two plastic screen protectors apart from each other. That little noise that you get, that ripping apart noise, that almost sounds like it. So don't think there's anything wrong. I know someone in the comment section was, there's something wrong with mine. No, mine does that as well. It's probably the brushes or the internal mechanism or something like that. So far, the hinges held up well. I haven't noticed anything like that. However many, couple hundred, 1,000 folds and unfolds, no problem. I haven't noticed it getting weaker or anything like that. 256 gigs of storage, that's going to be personal preference. Someone commented, say, I'm not going to go until they get the 516 gigs or whatever, 512 gigs. That's personal. If you're using it, that's fine. If you're not, I don't think that should be a reason why you'd shy away from this phone, especially with all the cloud storage that you have. The other thing that I noticed as well, you could cover both speakers without you even knowing it. See, naturally, when I hold the phone, I hold it like this, and then when I go on to watch something in landscape mode, I turn it to the left. And if you do that, one speaker's here, the other's here, and you put your hands, and you can actually block out the entire thing. And I don't want to pull a Steve Jobs and say, well, just don't hold it that way. But you could get away, you could kind of avoid that by holding it the other way. So if you're someone who watches stuff in landscape mode, and you're like me, just naturally going to the left with your swivel, see if you can get out of the habit. Go to the right with your swivel, and you won't block your two speakers. So that's really the only thing that I noticed there. Small thing again, but I thought something there was wrong with the speakers because the whole thing was silent, but there really wasn't. So, like I said, tried to get through as many questions as possible. Overall, this is what I think. I think if you're somebody who had these and likes these, and you're not someone that needs an S Pen, go ahead and get this. Don't be afraid. It's okay, it's time. It's the way that innovation is going. When you want something different now, all the things they're going to do here are update the specs, okay? When they come with these, it's going to be, more. We got a 1,000 zoom now. We got an 875 plus M Ultra in this next year's Fold. No, the innovation's going to happen over here. And just like 15 years ago when you had to get away from your flip phone or your feature phone and go to one of these smartphones, the same transition, and you did, and the world kept turning, right? You did it, and you kept making your phone calls, and you kept texting people, and if anything, you went ahead and did more. The same thing will happen when you get yourself a folding device, and specifically the Fold 2. The world will keep turning. You'll learn how to adjust the few things that are quirks, like how to hold it, how to take pictures on it, what's the most comfortable way to do things on it, and the way to type on it. You'll get used to all of that, and you'll get used to all of that quickly. But at the end of the day, you're gonna like the experience. It's everything that you could do on this one, plus. And I can say that a million times, and I'll say it again. You get so much more for your experience on the Fold 2. So go ahead. Don't short yourself. Go ahead and pick one up. If you're on the fence about it, you're like, I don't know how I'm going to adjust to it, how I adjust to that folding lifestyle, go ahead and do it. If you have any other questions, let me know. Like I said, I'm super active in the comments section. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that Steve Delicious day.